Times is on a mission to create dope content that entertains, educates, and empowers the Black community. We keep our ear to the ground, we ask, we report to you. We help Black people to share their message. We promote real dialogue. We provide a platform to help give voice to the voiceless. We educate you on how to shop smart. Our passion is to inform you about Black events, businesses, organizations, and entertainers. We are Black owned. We are Black Chicago. We are the award-winning Being Soup Times.
Y'all started off with that lesson, man. Appreciate it.
Sean Michelle's Homemade Ice Cream is the only place to go when the ladies crave delicious old-fashioned homemade ice cream. Their vanilla tastes just like Grandma used to make it. With over 35 flavors, all made with the freshest ingredients, Kathy has never had banana pudding ice cream this good. It's homemade ice cream the way you remember, and Sean Michelle's doesn't upset your stomach. Enjoy it in-store or take it to go. Sean Michelle's. Fall in love again.
First-time customers, buy one, get one free.
Greetings, greetings, greetings. What's up, brothers and sisters? This is your brother, your friend, Tori Muhammad. Man, it's another day, another wonderful day in the neighborhood. So excited to be on the top side of the earth. Man, I hope you're doing well today, too. It's good to see you all virtually. I see people have already been commenting on this show today, so we're going to get it started. But first, I want to introduce my guest co-host for the day. She is a shaker and mover in the city of Chicago. If you are in business, then you've heard her name. When people talk about making sure that you keep your books, your money, your finances in order, and you give Uncle Sam what Uncle Sam is due, she'll make sure you do it in the proper way. So we have the wonderful, the magnificent Deanna Grant.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much for having me today. I'm so excited to co-host.
Man,
this is
awesome. It's a pleasure.
Having some great conversations.
Absolutely. You give great information. You are an expert in your field, and we need that today now more than ever because money from the government is flying around from all kind of places. And there's discussions and talks about it, and you help businesses and individuals navigate that stuff, right?
Yeah, so we've had I want to say a 95% close rate of helping business owners to obtain the PPP loan, as well as the economic injury disaster loan. But the point is, with the PPP, the 5% that I mentioned, it's because some people, they did not have their paperwork together. And I was so disappointed. Some people, they start their businesses, they self DIY incorporate, and then they don't keep up with the Secretary of State. They did not, sometimes they switch businesses. They started as a sole proprietor, then they incorporate. Well, they were using their old EIN. So there were some people that were actually eligible for the money, but because they didn't keep their paperwork, they couldn't get, and it's free money. Like the PPP basically is free money. So that was kind of discouraging, but there were also some interesting ways people did obtain money, which is none of my business, but I had one. I was like, and I always love all those YouTubers that say allegedly. I don't know. I watch the YouTubers and they be like, oh, the story is allegedly.
Right.
There was, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but there was a fraud case. David T. Hines is his name. And he had $13.5 million in PPP loan. And of course, after obtaining this, he went and bought a Lamborghini. Bought a Lamborghini. And so he got caught because I guess the feds are looking at those bank accounts.
Right. Yeah. I know. I mean, yeah, you got to have some common sense nowadays and know that money is coming out, that they're watching what you're going to do with it.
Yeah.
That's so Man, so that's an egregious case, and that's unfortunate for him. But those 5%, so they obviously don't. You want to be in the other 5%, the 5 and the 1%. You don't want to be in that 5% that didn't get that money. So that was an egregious case. But I know you may have stories or opportunities or information about people who they did everything right, they got the money, but then that's the first step, right? Because some were grants, some people had to pay back. Maybe it wasn't all PPP, but once you get the money, then you need to make sure you're using it properly, right?
Exactly. So there were like two major funding opportunities. There was PPP, and then there was economic injury disaster loan. And this is where the government, the government was almost throwing money at people, like 50K loans, 150K loans, 300K loans. And this is a reality because I've seen and witnessed this. So this is not hearsay. This is not what had happened. This is the truth. But if you sign that economic injury disaster loan fund, there was like a 10-page loan document. And part of the document, I want to give you the highlights. Part of that was you had to have good books and records because they have up to 3 years after you pay the loan back to collect. To actually audit you for the documentation. And what I want to say about that is, yeah, you have to have a plan because also you're not allowed to spend the money you cannot pay down your personal debt. Can't pay your personal debt. You cannot spend the money on, like, it had to be American company. Like if it's an American entity, then you could spend the money. If not, but I have a little strategy for any of those people that took the economic and disaster loan fund and they want to, I don't want to say just pay your personal debt, but what you can do. What you can do is, as the owner and officer of the business, you can pay yourself a salary for services. That's a little trick. So you can pay yourself a salary for services. And if you do that, once you pay yourself a salary and you go ahead and pay the FICA Medicare to the government, then you could spend the funds as you see fit. Because it's part of your strategy, it may be a great strategy to minimize I'm at the front of my office, but to minimize your personal debt, because that debt has like 26, 27, however much percent interest rate. And it's probably killing you. Your payments are barely knocking the debt out. And this is a way you can't transfer it. You cannot use the economic injury disaster loan fund to pay your personal debt. You can pay yourself a salary. And this is a strategy just to like ease on some of the financial burden that you may have personally as a strategy, but you don't want to just take the 100K loan and not have a strategy. Anyone who called me, I said, you need to have a plan. And anytime you take money, you must use it to make more money. And this is my last thing, Tar. This is my last thing. This is my last thing. This for me has been like a very joyous occasion in time, because for our people, we have not been able to get access to capital. We've been handicapped. I've been an accountant. I've actually been a small business accountant for over 15 years, because before I started my practice, I worked for actually a Black accounting firm for about 10 years. But long story short, because I interned there. But anyways, it's been you almost had to give up your firstborn, give all your blood away to even get a $25,000 loan. And we've had the opportunity to get larger loans. So this has been somewhat of a godsend. But at the end of the day, whenever you access capital, you must have a plan to make more money with it. Right. You don't necessarily, you don't spend it inappropriately. Dollars spent in your business should be utilized to make more money.
Yep, that makes a whole lot of sense. So it opened up some opportunities. You got to make sure you spend that money wisely and correctly. And you just highlighted something that's very important. It's why you got to have a tax person, accountant when you're in business, because you can show people how to navigate things legally. Because sometimes it's just the language and how that money is allocated that can cause a big problem with people, even if the end result use is the same, right?
Yeah, it's the opportunity cost loss that people don't understand. And
Right.
that's because I work with a lot of business owners. So I see it all the time. I got a 10K story. Lady, she did not come to me for any advice, love to DIY. We got the tax rates changed. Trump changed the tax laws 2018.
Yeah.
She came to me after the fact. After the fact means after tax season. And then here we go. I got to try to fix it. Instead of being proactive, I'm reactive. And I'm trying to fix it, but unfortunately, this cost her $10,000 because we could have utilized a strategy prior to the year closing. So this was like a 10K strategy, and the mindset just wasn't where it needed to be. Your mindset needs to be that I know that if I get this professional help, it will not only save me money, but it's going to help me to make more money and for my business to be stronger. And the money is the heart of the business. So keeping track of your financials and just being very present with that, with the dollars that are going, the dollars coming into the business, the dollars going out of the business, is extremely important. And you could just, if you work with me, it's something like, as you can see, I enjoy it. So I'm like, hey, what's your goal for this week? What is your goal for this week, this month, this quarter? And how are we going to get to that financial goal? Like, how are we going to reach it? And then once you make the money, we'll talk about tax strategy. But I need you to focus on making it, plan a way to make it.
Man, that's so important.
Yeah.
And that's I love your enthusiasm and your appreciation for it. And man, I just wish that more of us would understand that beforehand. So if that lady you talked about, I know she doesn't wait till the last minute now. She doesn't come to you after the fact now, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's mindset, Tori.
Some people got it like that.
It's mindset. So people, you can't get stuck. If you get stuck, and you can't even, and during COVID, this is another opportunity to not get stuck. You must pivot to the profits.
Right.
So if you're like, oh my God, I can't do this, and this, then whatever it is that you were doing that unfortunately before COVID was extremely profitable, you have to find a way to pivot to something else.
Right. That's right. Man, so I'm looking for our next guest, I guess, or our guest is our first guest. So something is going on here because I see that she's logged in, but I can't see her face. So I'm hoping that she got my message. I'm trying to send her, let her know to log back in. And man, the show must go on. I don't know what's going on with my background. I'm supposed to have my Bean Soup logos behind me, and you see the green screen on there. So I guess this is that kind of day. But I look good with a green background, so I'm gonna go.
The green screen. That's what we're talking about. Money. This is about money anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're doing some great stuff on Instagram. I see you ask the tax boss lady, and engaging people. So how is that going? Are people asking questions now that tax season is over when they should be asking questions?
So I really want people to ask questions. And I'll say this is what I've decided to do because I'm definitely introverted. But if you're introverted, how do people know that you're in business and that they should use you, or what type of assistance that you have to help them with?
So you're a talkative introvert, huh?
But entrepreneurs can't be introverted.
That's right.
So, but anyways, I'm introverted. And so what that means, I like to, I'm an accountant. I'm sorry. I like to sit at my desk in my quiet, looking at my numbers, looking at my computer screen, and then actually trying to have conversations. And I have great business conversations one-on-one. But then I had a whatever it was a mental mindset. Mindset is our word for today. It was only mindset about getting in front of people, because I get in front of people all the time. So anyways, but I would love for people, I'm at Tax Boss Lady, Tax Boss Lady. Follow me if you like. I'm starting every Monday. I will be doing Monday Money Matters every Monday. And I have a special heart for entrepreneurship. So this month we're talking about making and managing money. Because once you make it, you must manage it appropriately. There's so many people that make a lot of money, whatever that means, 6 to 7 figures, and then they have no clue where it's at. They don't know where their money, their profit is. And so that's what I want to like just educate people on, different ways to manage the money. And that's what we're going to do for this month. But I just want to keep the conversation going so we need to start being comfortable with it. Let's be comfortable talking about money matters.
You know what? And in our community, we don't do it as much and as clear as we should, especially when it talks about long-term planning. So I'm excited about you doing that, and let us know how we can help spread the word about it. Of course, we can tag and reshare it and repost it on Instagram, but that's so key for us to have that conversation. Now, I don't know if you know, this month is Black Business Month.
Yes.
So this is our month. This is our
month. This is our month.
Like Black month for Black businesses.
Yeah.
Right. So, what's one of your favorite Black-owned businesses? Who is somebody you love to patronize in Chicago?
Who do I love to patronize? Okay, I'm gonna pick a client. Harold's Chicken. Harold's 88 in the South Loop. Oh my God, I grew up on Harold's Chicken, but I love Harold's.
So I know you're a client, but
I'm a chicken person.
That South Looping is a good one now.
Yeah. There's South Looping, there's 35th Street. Both of them are good.
Yeah.
Both of them are good.
All Harold's ain't made equal. So you gotta know,
because some of them, I don't think some of them are owned by us.
Ones you like to prefer.
Yeah, I think some of them are not owned by us, but that one's pretty good. He ensures that he uses fresh oil for his chicken, and he feels very has a lot of pride with that. He also has an awesome alkaline water too.
Really? He sells
alkaline water he's selling.
He uses he sells alkaline water. That's good. That's you're gonna need a little alkaline water every now and then. It's fried food.
You
gotta balance it out.
So is our next guest on? Because I was gonna say, did we want to talk about the heel, like the alleged, like new Congress kind of? There was the so it was what was that act? The new one's called the HEALS Act. The first one was called the CARES Act. The new one will be called the HEALS Act.
Okay, and has it been passed?
No, not yet. It hasn't been passed. So there's a lot of alleged conversation.
Okay, so then what's the alleged conversation? What's different about this?
So this one, this is all alleged. I have to keep saying that, alleged. So there is $1,200. Remember this $1,200 stimulus that everyone got a couple of months ago? So there is the potential. I'm sorry you didn't get yours. You will get a tax credit. If you didn't get yours for whatever reason, there will be a tax credit available on your 2020 tax return. So you will be able to get it. You're entitled to it. As long as your numbers are right, you're entitled to it.
Okay.
So this time they're going to do a $1,200 to each adult. So if you're married filing jointly, you get $2,400. And allegedly, I'm sorry, I keep saying allegedly, there's $1,200 given for each dependent, which that would be pretty significant. $1,200, $1,200 for the dependents. The next thing is there may be more PPP money.
That don't excite me. I don't have a wife. All my children are grown.
Oh no!
Youngest one is 21.
We're gonna pray her into existence.
Not for that. Not just for the.
But there's potentially, allegedly, the expansion of the PPP. So there'll be a second round for the business owners to get PPP money. So that would be kind of cool.
That would be.
There is, what else are they doing? I know those to me were like the top highlights that I can remember and really want to expound on.
Okay, those are huge right there.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to get on. I don't know what's going on. It's just a great screen.
Oh no.
But those are huge. So now from an entrepreneur standpoint, from a business owner, then that's the opportunity also for you to get your business right, for you to be thinking about, okay, how can I make sure that when people have some of this money coming in, that along with their key bills they're paying, right, some of those necessities that they're thinking about us in the process. Because, even during the height of the pandemic, that's one thing I kept saying to myself, man, it's a crisis right now and people are getting laid off. But every time I pulled up to Walmart, it was packed.
There was always a line at Walmart and Mariano's and
exactly. Every grocery store, everybody was spending money like crazy. So that money's got to be circulating. We got to make sure it's circulating in our community. So I guess I don't know what she's doing, but let's talk about her a little bit because she has some stuff that you might appreciate. It's Mama Chatto from Chatto's hair and skincare products. She has product that is in Whole Foods, all organic, pure, right, natural ingredients she uses in her products. And man, we've been so excited to be learning more about what she does. She's been around for like 30 years.
Oh, wow.
She comes from West Africa. She has, she was trained in herbal remedies and herbal stuff. And then she got deep into hair and skincare. So she has a salon. She does hair. She does natural, all kind of stuff. But what it really got me excited about working with her is that she has some men's shaving cream, right? So, I got
no, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It'd be an afro. So, I got to make sure I can shave it every day so it don't grow into look like.
Yeah, because the men are stepping up their grooming. Like, I saw like some beards and someone had they were waving it out, like with all putting the products on the beard. And,
so she got all kinds of stuff. Some balms and oils and cream. She got all, man.
Where is she located?
So she has a fulfillment center in the South Loop, and then she has a salon in South Loop as well. I mean West Loop, West Loop.
The West Loop, okay.
Right. So, but then you can go get her products at Whole Foods. She has them, I believe, on Roosevelt, and she has the women's product has been there for a while in like 4 or 5 Whole Foods, and now the men's product is in there as well. So, man, it's obviously a Black-owned business to support and appreciate. And like I say, man, she's solid.
Now I want to say that to me is an interesting conversation. Just that, like, however many billion-dollar industry that the hair care, personal care industry, trillion-dollar industry that it is, and the blessing that we started embracing ourselves again.
Yeah.
Right. We started embracing ourselves again because now we're actually able to eat. There's so many e-commerce companies that we actually that have natural products, such as, what's the product again? The young lady?
Chatto.
Yeah, Chatto, such as the Chatto product. Mm-hmm. And how we're able to basically feed our families as well as provide the I want to say not material, but provide the product that's needed that caters to our skin,
that's right,
our complexion, our hair texture, what's necessary for our hair, not just some like bottle of something.
Right.
And how we are creating multi-million-dollar businesses off of our own products.
That's right. That's
Now
right.
we need to figure out the grocery store thing. We need to figure the grocery store thing out.
Man, we got
Yeah.
soon. We need one
Yeah. Yeah.
soon that we can now house all these different products and services from our community. So uh, I know there's been some attempts to it, but we got to put our heads around it and make it happen real soon. And
Yeah.
you talk about the uniqueness. We do have, right? Of course, it's obvious that we have different hair texture, right? But then also for her and for the companies out here with so many blended families, right?
Yes.
There's a uniqueness of texture now that they were being ignored for a long time because it wasn't totally Caucasian, it wasn't totally black.
Right.
So, all right, so so that makes it real different and unique, right? And
Yes.
then the unique challenges that we have for our skincare, dealing with blemishes, right? Other people don't have blemishes the way we have blemishes and spots and two tones. So man, she does.
I find when I use products from us that it eliminates all the problems that I had, like
Right,
not
that's
having blemishes. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I use
right.
a special soap. I haven't tried Chatto soap, not yet, but I
Yep.
find that really good.
All right, so man, I'm trying to see what's going on here with our guest. It looks like she has her shared screen on, but I'm gonna see if we can put her on and walk her through because I see us on her screen.
Okay.
I didn't see anything at first. Let me see if we can patch her in. Mama Chatto, can you hear me?
Hear me?
There she goes.
Huh? Can you hear? Can you say something again? Nope, we can't hear you. I don't know how you have the share screen on. I thought only I could do share screen, but you have the share screen on. We can't hear you. I'm gonna pull her back out.
There she goes.
Can I hear you on this one?
She just needs to unmute.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Oh.
Huh?
Okay, we can hear you, but we can't see your beautiful face.
Oh my goodness. What am I doing wrong?
Oh, I don't know. It should have said video.
Unfortunately, I wish my son is here today, but he's not. So if you can, oh man, I wish you can see my beautiful face today, but can you hear me talking?
Yeah, we can hear you though. At least we can hear you. Could you hear us talking about you?
Yes, I can hear you guys too.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna pretend we phone patched you in, like
exactly. Okay. Okay. Oh man.
I may be able to do something here and do a little share screen, but
yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Good. Thanks to God. I'm doing great. I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking.
That is wonderful. And so we were talking about you a little bit. You have been
very interested in Deanna. I heard her everything she was saying. So, but it looks like you guys couldn't hear me. But I'm very interested in what she shared. So
yeah. You all should definitely connect. I think she may have some tips and advice for you.
Yes.
You help so many businesses deal with making sure they have everything in order for Uncle Sam and for themselves.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Mama Chatto. You've been around for a while helping us look and feel great. So tell us a little bit about your history.
I've been around for a while, but I realize in this country, if you are not Beyonce, or as Deanna would say, have money to advertise things that doesn't work, nobody knows about you. You have to have, So I'm originally from Ghana, West Africa. And I've been in this country for over 35 years. And I'm naturally a formulator a herbalist because that's where my grandmother used to do, a cosmetologist, esthetician, and at the same time, entrepreneur. So I've been in this country for that long. And what really nurtured me into skin and hair care is because when I came here, though I'm from Africa and we use natural herbs to heal because we don't have that many specialized doctors like you have here. So we really use that natural organic herb to do things in this back home. And coming to this country, honestly, if you haven't been to this country, America is one of the best mothers. They hide their secret until you get here to see what's really country. So when I got here and started my beauty school already, I went to beauty school in London and Canada. So I was used to natural hair and all that. And coming here and finding out that things were different really got me back home. I went back home to Ghana to go and learn more about herbs because I realized there's a lot of things, especially among the African Americans. There are so many skin problems. When I see it, as soon as I see it, I know what problem it is. I know what to put in there. I know how to solve it. So that got me interested being a stylist. Almost 65 to 70% of women have problem, but it's covered with wig or weave or something. And I tell people that the only way you should take care of yourself, regardless of how much money and things you buy, is your head. Your head contains your brain, it contains your face. When you are alive or dead, when you walk in, everybody recognize your head and say, oh, that's Deanna coming. That's Tori coming. Oh, that's Chatto. When you are dead, they come to see nothing but your face and your head. So you have to, something I really recommend people to take care of themselves in this country. Inwardly, like nurture yourself inside and out, because it's not just walking and you don't know what is going on inside you, but the way you eat and do things makes a big difference in human life.
Yes. And so tell us a little bit about you have a salon and you have a bunch of different products.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. Like, what is the hot seller? Like, what is the must have? That was one of my questions.
Deanna, I don't even know how to start or begin. My shop used to be on Oak Street, Oak and Michigan Avenue for 29 years. So I've touched every human hair, I'm telling you. And from my experience, as soon as I see people or somebody, I can tell the personality represent you. You cannot just look into Facebook or YouTube and bring me a picture like, can you do this style for me? Is this style you? Do you walk in that style? And also my best thing is the quality of ingredients I use in the product and the natural oils and the high quality of it. And I believe that the body must nurture for the hair and skin to thrive. And because of that, all my products is for repair. I repair the human body and the skin and hair.
Man,
I have repair. That's pretty good.
I have all my product for damaged hair. Most of my product, almost 80% are for damage and repair, regardless whether you are in a chemo, whether you have on medication or your hair is thinning out or is gone. The only thing you have to be careful is our sebaceous gland secretes oil different from Caucasians. So the moment you fool with it and lose your follicles and the hair is close up, you are gone. So that's what I really repair for people to be aware of how important it is to take care of yourself rather than wearing the wig. or wearing a weave.
Right. So I wish I had met you about 13 years ago. But luckily I look good with a bald head.
Yes, you do, because what happens is men normally start balding around 27.
Yeah.
When they're 26, 27, you see the hair started thinning out. If you have that in your marital mother side of the family or a family history of that. And most of the time to people during the winter time, the snow fall on your hair and you don't protect it and you don't moisturize it. I tell everybody, the hair, winter time, all the trees go, the leaves go out. It's dry. Summertime, springtime, it starts watering and blooming. So moisturizing the hair and the body can tell you that nature is moisture. We need to moisturize our hair and skin very much to be able to do that. And most of the men I see, normally, unless a girlfriend or a family member say, "Oh, you're getting bald" or something, they just go back and forth, don't care, there's no fall on it. And then they wear the same hat. They wash their hair every day, but they keep wearing the same hat they haven't washed in a week or two, putting the bacteria back in the hair every week. And
Yeah.
so that's a difference between the men taking care of the men's side versus the women's side.
Yep, that's true. That's true. So you've been caring a lot for skin overall and then women, but now you've launched a whole new line for men. And I gotta tell you, I have been enjoying the everything that I can use. And that's everything except for the stuff for the beard, right? So I don't have a beard. But the skin toner, the balm, the shaving mousse, man, the even the workout. I do use that workout mist. It's for the beards,
For
but
the face.
a little bit. I still like. I used to like aftershave too. I love that too. And I've had a few people that have beards that they're gonna give me some videos of them using it and how much they enjoy it. They say they love it. Matter of fact, one person said they even used it, and then now they went to Whole Foods. They told me it was in Whole Foods. They're like, I said, no, it's only the women's product in there. They said, no, I bought some of the men's stuff you gave me. In there. So that's tell us a little bit more about the men's products.
I have now I have about 25 products at Whole Foods. I have 25 or 26. The reason why I created the men's product is I realized that most men don't have what it takes to really use their ingrown problem or what will penetrate into their epidermal layer to treat the ingrown and razor bump problem we have. I used to sell it separate, which the men were using for the past 20 years. A lot of men were buying my moisturizer and my soap and liquid soap because it's all natural. I really sit down and formulate and mix and bottle everything. And I'm telling you, almost 98% of the men love my product until the beard stuff coming in. So I have a son, and my son friends started using my women product for their beard. So they keep telling me, go to Amazon and buy the product. So one day I sat down and I said, why are they using the women product for their beard? And it's still, so why don't I come up with a different kit so that the men will enjoy and be proud of it? So I sat down and used the same formulation I've used for years, which has worked for men, and formulated it into the men's problem. Because I've seen most of us when we shave, when the men shave, they have the darkness on the beard, on the chin area, and then the ingrown problem. So I know my soap. That's why my logo says I don't sell product, I sell results. And anybody who has used my product, I'm telling you, sometimes they said, damn, that works, but it's expensive. Yes, I sit down really to formulate it. So now I have the mousse, which works for both shaving the hair. If you bald and you want to shave your hair, it prevents you from getting the razor bump and the neck problem people are having. And it cleans the skin, go deep down and cleans the skin to prevent and repair the epidermal layer for the razor bumps to occur. So you don't really get the razor bumps again. I have also the soap. The soap also penetrates to prevent any ingrown problems or bumps or pimples or acne or sweat and all that, to erase that from the body. While the moisturizer go deeper into the skin to erase that darkness from the chin area. So actually then I have the toner, as you said. Then from the toner, I have the after work spray, which can be sprayed both on the hair and the beard. The oil and the balm, I talked to 3 of my son's friends and I sent them 3 different oil scents, because men has different smell than women. So then when I send it to them, they say, oh, mommy, why don't you mix all together and let's see how it works? So through them, I mix all the 3 oils I have separate into one. And I'm telling you, it came into a different, amazing super scent for the men. So I use the hemp seed oil and castor oils and other mixtures to create the oil, which is really light, because you don't need anything heavy to sit on the skin. So the oil is very light, and the balm also creates a mixture of a curly pattern or softness. So actually it doesn't really matter, because what I see about beard is different from natural hair. It's coarser. When it comes to Caucasian or African American, all beard looks the same in the coarse, strong form. So actually, and you wash it every day. So you're always washing your oil off. So you need to bring moisture and shine to the hair. So actually, it's not just being an African American, but if you are a Caucasian and have a coarse, dry, colored gray hair, you can also use it for your beard as well.
I love it. I love it. So, Mama Chatto, I want you to stay on with us. We're gonna keep the conversation going, but I want to bring another guest on. She has some things that we want to hear from her about, but I want to come back to you before we close out with a couple more questions. And of course, you see Eduardo Bay says that your products are bang out, great stuff. And then Star Williams says, is there an online store? You can go to chatto.com, or you can go to amazon.com. And you can find her products in either of those locations. It's chatto.com. So we're talking about business. It's National Business Month. We got the tax expert on, Deanna Grant from Grant Financial Services. We have Mama Chatto Wright of Chatto's hair skincare products for men and women. And you heard her, she says she's touched every type of hair that there is. So whatever issues you have, and she can help with that. We have another great guest to bring on. Now she is doing something, Deanna, you're going to like this. And Mama Chatto, I think you as well, because of the children and grandchildren. But she is organizing an incredible event that's happening this weekend that is helping students to get their financial, their health, and their get on the right track for life, right? And then it's not just for students though, because some of us that didn't get some of that coaching early on, we get in life, and then we need some help along the way too. And you shouldn't be too embarrassed or ashamed about it, because that's how life is. Life has all these twists and turns, and we don't know what we don't know. So we appreciate what she's going to be bringing to the table. Let me pipe her in.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Or good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Gilbert Mitchell here. and she is doing an incredible event. I'm gonna put it up on the screen in a second. But tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us about this incredible event that you have.
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Tori Muhammad, for having me on your show. I learned something. Thank you from the other panelists that have been on the screen. Thank you so much for that. We all need to have beautiful skin and hair and be healthy. We also need to make sure our money is healthy. And that ties right into the event that is this weekend. So my background is I am a 22-year educator, second generation teacher. Both parents were teachers. Something I didn't want to do initially, but when you have a calling on your life, you can run, but you can't hide. And once you operate in it, then you see all kinds of things happen and manifest. So I am an educator down to my core. Chicago born and bred, but more importantly, I have a true heart for students. Especially, I love the underdogs. I love the students that people count out. They don't think they are going to college. They have already predestined what they perceive to be the potential of other people. Those are the babies. Those are the young people. Those are the young adults that I want, because those are the ones that will make a huge difference and shift the whole country and our communities. And so leading up to this Saturday, I am hosting a college transition conference for academic, campus, and life success. And thank you so much, Tori, for mentioning that. It is not just for college students or seniors or juniors in high school, even though the title does say College Transition Conference. But right now during COVID, can we all agree that we all are going through transitions? We're going through transitions with health. We're going through transitions with money. We're going through transitions in our household, because some of us have been in the household with people since March that we usually just drove by and had ships that passed in the night. And now we're in there full force. So we're not able to go to worship. So we're having all of these transitions. So this conference was given to me. It is divinely inspired to say, what can we do to meet the need? And I'm a firm believer that we all can't do the same things, but we all can do something. So this is my something. And so the 4 panels that are being represented, and thank you for showing it on the screen, those 4 panels are not specific to college students. We have best college practice. Of course, that is about college. 4 universities are represented: Roosevelt University, Malcolm X College, University of Illinois at Chicago, and Central Michigan University. So everyone comes with their own expertise. And how do students know how to navigate? Will they have some advice? What do they do right now, college during COVID? What should they be asking about financial aid if their situations change from October 1st when they completed FAFSA to right now? Something could have changed. Should they even go away? Or maybe they need to look at our community colleges in Chicago. We have 7. So maybe they need to look at some other options if they're not going away. Everybody needs to do something productive, regardless to what path they choose. The other 3 panels are financial literacy and wellness. We could all use some information about money, how to keep the money we have, how to make more money, how to share money, how to build wealth so that we can leave it back to our next of kin, our family members, our grandchildren, our nieces and nephews, and the whole village. And then health and relationship wellness. That is so critical. I saw research about how the implosion of mental health faculties and services will be so needed, because people are trying to manage. How do I feel about COVID? What if I had someone who died from it? What if I'm dealing with schools reopening and I'm scared to go? I'm an educator and I have a family. So do I go teach and put my own family at risk? And we're seeing this everywhere. And then lastly, and so also health with that as well, and relationships. How do you have positive relationships? What are the signs for domestic abuse? Teenagers are growing cases of domestic situations, which to us may be unheard of, but it's something real that they are dealing with. And then lastly, legal and interactional awareness. What's the law? If we want to be vocal, if we want to be socially active, whether on a college campus, whether at work, whether just in the streets, what are our rights? What should we know about? What should we do and not do? What are some things that we need to be aware of? And then someone is from the civic strategist from the National Democratic Convention. It's not about what party you're part of. It's about what do you need to know? How do we exercise our right to vote? How do we make sure that our vote is counted, regardless to whether we think it matters, regardless to whether we think it counts? I just remember my grandfather, who in Mississippi, in Jackson, Mississippi, he was put a gun on him saying, don't vote. Don't you go vote now. So when I think about that, how could I not vote? As a direct descendant of my grandfather, how could I not push my kids who are 25 and 30 to vote and to exercise whatever that vote is? So how do we navigate that? And then we also have a provost on that panel. Now that is pulling back in. So what should we be aware of? That when I make a statement, what's the consequence of that, right? We can say whatever we want, but we are not free from the consequences of whatever we say. And that's whether you are a student. There are professors now being fired or disciplined for their social media posts. There are employees who think about all the Karens in the world who have been taped doing things in public, and it affected their jobs and their income and their ability to provide for their families. So as you can tell, I am absolutely excited.
Yeah.
Not only just about this event, and again, it's for young adults to senior citizens. My desire is that families join. Right? They buy tickets and they join so that after this event, they can have a multi-generational conversation. That as a 20-year-old, how I feel about money is very different as a 40-year-old, right? At 40 years old, I have mistakes that I might not be able to fix. So I need somebody to tell me how to fix that. But if I'm 20, you might be able to tell me how not to make those mistakes and what should I be aware of. And those are some considerations that multi-generational, we don't always talk. We don't put our dirty laundry on the table, right? We want to cover it up and make like everything is fine. But then we die and we have a GoFundMe account, which if that's what we need to do, we have to meet the need. But how do we make sure that we're not in some of those situations? And the last thing I wanted to mention is I try to tell all students for the last 22 years that failure will happen. Right? That goes against what people say. Failure is not an option. Oh my goodness, you will be everything you can be. You can do anything you want to, but I can't lose 25 pounds by next weekend.
Yeah.
Right? There are some limitations to what we can do. So how do we make realistic goals? We set ourselves up for success and we make sure we know we can fail and failure happens, right? We burn food. We have a breakup. We get divorced. We have a car accident. It's not about I'm afraid to fail. The real thing is how do I learn from it? So this conference has something for everybody, for mama and them, the village, and everyone. So please share the word, buy a ticket for yourself, buy a ticket for someone else, and let's win together. Because when we do better individually, we can build stronger households, we build stronger neighborhoods, we build stronger communities, and we have the power to change the world. Literally, we have the power to change things.
Yep, absolutely. That's so beautiful. Thank you for that information. Now tell us the website people need to go to.
Absolutely. So you can buy a ticket right now, not yesterday, not tomorrow, right now. You can get it at collegetransitionconference.eventbrite.com. So collegetransitionconference.eventbrite.com. It was also on the flyer. And if you just do a search on social media, I promise you it will pop up either there or Eventbrite. So don't delay, get a ticket or two today because we cannot wait till tomorrow to make success for us today.
I'm very excited about hearing about this conference. Yeah, because that's what we were talking about earlier, these conversations and just starting to have these different conversations about relationships, our finances, even like that college journey, and going to an event like that would be, amazing, life-changing. So everyone should buy a ticket.
I agree.
Buy a ticket today.
Agree. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Mama Chatto, you've been around and been in business for a while. So, and you have children, right? You have young adults, right?
Yes, I have. I do have. Actually, I'm going to tell you something which is not even related to this. When I came to this country, I have two boys. Then I was saying, when I was pregnant, I said, oh God, please don't give me a girl. Please don't give me a girl. I can't braid the hair on Sunday. That's only off day, please. So I was praying and God really answered and gave me two boys. And I really didn't know how difficult it is to raise two boys, a black boy in this country. And as I'm growing now and learning things from this country and seeing what is going on, and I said, wow, I should have asked for 1 and 1, at least, a girl and a boy, because what is going on, You see, charity begins at home, Tori. And when we say charity begins at home, it's training the child. What you train a child at home, at the same time, what you train a child at school, click to the mind. So it's outside and inside. Most countries in this world, which has really treated the citizens equally and benefited from it, has a good country, peaceful country. But when you have children and you favor one over the other, and you have a country and you favor one over the other, you never have peace in the where you live. And as I said, nothing is forever. So if we don't take care and really, really set our mind in this country together and share equality, or sit down and listen to everybody's problem. Why is it like that, that this person behave like that and this person doesn't? You take the person to jail, she comes from jail, she has no work because you block him from getting a job. As a man, he sits down looking at the world, there's nothing to do, his mind fluctuates and go around circles, get frustrated. Then he just sit down and say, hey, I might as well go back to jail. I can get a free food and free, clothing and shelter. Then, so if we don't sit down and settle this or really share things equally, it's going to be really difficult in this country to live the way. And when I realized that that's how it is and have boys, I said, oh my God, God, please take care of these boys for me. Please, because it's not as easy as you see it outside when you haven't been to United States. Until you get here and see the actual United States, things are completely different.
Right.
Yep. And, that's why I appreciate this conference that you all, that MGM College Services is doing, because even those of us who are in this country, Mama Chatto, you talking about coming from outside
Right.
and seeing all this change and seeing these things are different. And those of us as young men and women growing up in it, we take it in stride because we think it's normal, but we don't. We haven't figured this out, right? How the Black folks navigate in this country has not been. There's not been a clear path, but those people that are given information who've experienced and been down these certain roads, and I think all three of you all have so many important parts to it. Of course, bringing folks together who are experts to get this information, the finance, the money, the health and wellness with Mama Chatto, because of course, right, beauty is the outward part to it, right? But beauty and wellness and health starts from within, right? And if nothing else, you're gonna have problems on the outside of your body, and your face is gonna be contorted because your organs aren't working right.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So I love how she has, she uses organic essential oil, she uses shea butter, cocoa butter, all these natural stuff from the motherland to help with the healing process.
Right.
So, Deanna, talk a little bit from a business, from that, MGM sister talked about the financial piece, right? So talk a little bit from your perspective, being in business, how important it is for that generational wealth.
For generational wealth, I was going to say that not only the MGM and Mama Chatto, because Mama Chatto, she started her business because she found a need. So there was a need, and then she found a solution to the need. And long story short, a unique solution. And then now she's able to make, profits from that.
Right.
But generational wealth, I think it starts at home. I think we can start at home. So I start with my own daughter. And my daughter, she's a little spoiled, and I should have started a little earlier, but I have a 14-year-old daughter, and now I make her come to work with me. Now, that is a tax strategy and a tax write-off. Hiring your children, that's a great strategy that will reduce your taxes, but that's not the point. But it starts with, and I feed her like nuggets of information subliminally, and I keep saying it. So for her paycheck, she has a plan. I said, look, for your paycheck, when you get your paycheck, because I didn't know this when I was her age. What I did with my paycheck is I went and bought every Coach, Guess, and Nike shoe that I could ever purchase. And had I known, just save some of the money. So her plan is because she doesn't need to pay any household bills. So I tell her 60% of your check goes to the savings account. 10% goes to charity. 30% can go to spend because now she's a teenager. So these little young ladies go to dinner. Well, I know it's COVID, but they go to like Ruth Chris. Like they halfway ball out at such a young age, and they like going to restaurants. But at the end of the day, I start with her. And then probably just, also having conversations like, I'm so happy about the MGM College Service event, and making our children participate in things that will expand their mind, because that's how, if we show them how to create wealth, there we go, creating our legacy. And now the generations can continue by training the young ones what to do. And also us older ones, like just making sure that we're knowledgeable and we seek either professional help or just trusted help that actually can help us get ahead, instead of being embarrassed, instead of being upset about it or whatever. Just get real strong. Like, I love the Black Lives Matter movement because we're like strong in our stance. And we're not taking, I know you were talking about the cancel culture, but we're not taking mess. We're canceling. If you're not on the same page, we're canceling this business, or we're not going to give our dollars to this business, because that's also how we have to learn. That's how we really get our legacy going, by having our dollars go to feed our businesses.
Right.
And then make that money and manage it appropriately.
Right.
And keep it going. And then teach the ones beneath us to do the same.
Right.
That's right. Sister Mary, I'm representing Morehouse right here.
Yeah.
You went to Tuskegee, right?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. You went to HBCU, didn't you?
Yes, I did. My family calls me a professional student. And I'm not done yet, because there's always something to learn. And thank you for bringing that up, Deanna. What you made me think about is, how do we go back to, and the Black Lives Movement Matter has done this, right? It's just helped us think about buying Black again. And I remember when Maggie Anderson 10 years ago, 365 days, she and her husband made a commitment to only buy Black for a whole year. And that was 10 years ago. People thought that was crazy, right? But now we have the Black Wall Street app, and we have all these things to say, buy Black for the whole month of July and for August. And we're going to show the power of our dollars. And so one thing this pandemic has done is it's made us go back to our roots, go back to our community, where I remember my family in Mississippi. If you needed something, you didn't have a White Pages or a Yellow Pages or internet. You just know cousin such and such down the road, she does X, Y, and Z. So you go see her and you tell her I sent you. And it was all about how do we build things together. And even with for my event Saturday, I did not know that I was going to be able to get sponsors. And so I got US Bank as a sponsor, and also Steps in Consulting. And so for me, that felt like a jolt of, okay, go ahead. We like what you're doing, and we see the value in it. And how do we make sure that we support each other and our businesses that are mutually beneficial? We're not saying accept poor service. We're not saying just give us your money just because, we're Black, so we're going to support and buy Black. We're saying, how do we operate in integrity, honesty, and excellence?
Yes.
That our money is still money, and we want to respect that. So I appreciate you bringing in even your children and your daughter. How do you make those examples, right? So you can say, you have to work for this. You have to save for this, that we don't wear our money, but we look at, how do I buy stock? Even if it's one in Nike or one in whatever it is that I purchased the most of. For my grandbaby, it would be McDonald's. because she sees the image. She says we have to just go there and get something. So I love this conversation about how do we support, and even with Mama Chatto, how do we make sure we support business? And even if it's not for us, that if someone asks and the need arises, we say, oh, wait a minute, I got somebody for that. I have somebody you could talk to for that. So that is so important. And Ture, I appreciate you for even having this platform for us to even share what we do. And one of the goals is wherever we are, how do we make sure that everybody leaves better than when they came? Mm-hmm. So anyone who watched this today, what did they leave with from each of us as guests? And even you as the host, what did they leave that made their lives better? And they said, that was a good investment of my hour. That was a good investment of my time. And how do I now share that? So we know, again, we're not being selfish. One last thing is I try to make a joke and say, I remember hearing about the Kennedys when I was little. They were super rich to me, the Kennedy families and the Rockefellers, and it was never anybody Black. Right. And I said, okay, well, one day I want my picture up in my great-great-grandchild's house. And I want them to say, who is that? That's great grandma Marilyn Gilbert Mitchell. And she did blah, blah, blah. And because of what she did, we got this little bit of residual money that's coming in. Yeah. All right, great grandma, we love you. And I could be dead and gone. Right. So how do we make sure that what we're leaving is not bills and debt, but we're leaving a legacy that our students and our children and our families can build upon? And other generations do that a lot better oftentimes than we do. So Thank you, Deanna, for reminding me I can make my kids, even though they're young adults, I get some free labor.
Make a man put them to work. Absolutely. So, man, I appreciate all of y'all. This has been a great conversation. And is everybody give a closing remark? Let's start with Mama Chatto. Let's give a short closing remark. And definitely make sure tell people again where they can reach you.
First of all, I just want people to understand that it's just like, I don't know how to describe it, like a gift. I have that gift that tells me your personality represents you. You walk in, as soon as the person walk in, you can tell from the person walk, the way she dresses, the way she's acting, the personality, inner personality of a person. You can really tell from that. So I don't just treat her. If I don't treat the inner part of it, I cannot treat the outside part of it. So my gift also is to treat people with helps about things inwardly, because you cannot see your inside. Once upon a time, I have a guy who was a smoker. So when she came, I said, let me tell you, I'm from Africa. And back home, we don't have a stove or anything. We cook on charcoal or on a wooden fire. But every night when you get up in the morning, you see the smoke has stuck on the corners of the kitchen or where you cook. And this tells me that same thing, that when you smoke, has nowhere to go out. It stays inside the corners of your body. And as time goes on, it builds up because you cannot see it. And later on, you tend to have problem with it. So these are the little things I do. I treat people with different diseases like ulcer, eczema, psoriasis, severe skin problems. I'm on, because I've never seen skin problems or diseases in this world than I see here, which I know it comes from the sweet, because whatever comes onto your tongue when you are young sticks to it and you have craving for it. So you never stop craving for the cookies or the sugar or the drink and the pie, because that's what you are used to, and eventually creates problem for you.
That's right.
Inside you. So that's what I usually treat and talk to people. I've done a lot. People with sciatic, all those kind of things. So it's not just hair. It's so many things I see from the experience I've got from home. And I said, whatever America has given me, I will give the gift of what I have from the motherland to people. But the unfortunate thing is, it's a country if you don't have the money or you are not well-known Beyonce or Michael Jackson, nobody knows you. I always tell people, I say, even if somebody pee into a bottle and say, oh, this is a vitamin water, everybody will rush and go and buy it.
Mama, we got about 5 more minutes. Let me get closing remarks from Sister Mildred and then from Deanna.
All right. So that's it. So I just, wish everybody the best of luck, and let's take care of each other.
Am I going next?
Yeah, you're next.
Okay. This will be very brief. So one is come to the College Transition Conference. That is this Saturday, August 8th. collegetransitionconference.eventbrite.com. Buy a ticket for yourself, buy a ticket for someone else, buy a ticket for those you know. Everyone can benefit from this information. 2, there are a lot of options beyond high school, but everyone needs to be a lifelong learner and continue learning, or we would still have an iPhone 2, and now they're on an 11. So we have to continue to grow so that we can expand. And 3, what we do daily determines our life and what we're able to do for ourselves, our families, and those we love. And after that, the whole world. And then the other point is Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world. So whatever we don't like about the world, education is a very big key in making those changes. And it starts with this Saturday's event.
Beautiful, beautiful. Deanna?
All right. Thank you so much for having me. I want to say that tax strategy equals tax savings. I just want to drop that nugget of information. Tax strategy equals tax savings. The lesson that PPP, which was the Paycheck Protection Program, the lesson it taught us in our small business is that we need to have properly planned paperwork with documentation with our business. We should have properly planned paperwork. And the last thing is, I want you to treat your business like you're actually investing in a company. So the dollars that you spend in your business it's an investment, and it's an opportunity to, like we said, pass on the generational wealth. But just treat your business like it's an investment and like it's important. And what that means is you need to pay attention to it. Right. Pay attention to the finances, the bones of the business, the sales, the finances, the legal, the HR, all of those areas.
Man, I love it. Sister Marilyn, Sister Deanna, Sister Mama Chatto, y'all brought some powerful information to the show today. I appreciate you all. I'm wishing everybody continued success, and we are going to engage all of you all consistent. Y'all are like family now. So hopefully Deanna's going to be a regular guest host, maybe once a month. Maybe I can squeeze twice a month out of her. She's busy. She always crunching those numbers. So I got to get her when I can. But man, I appreciate you all. And Sister Marilyn, you always welcome on the show. And Mama Chatto, we're going to be doing a lot together. So with that, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Sean Michelle's Homemade Ice Cream. You all know on 47th and Wahlback. It's the place where folks literally stand out. It was lines when it was cold outside. It was lines during the pandemic. It was lines when it's lines when it's raining outside, because the ice cream and those cobblers are just that good. So they even got a vegan option for those. And they have a variety of vegan options, not just, vanilla and chocolate, man. They got some crazy like 7 to 8 vegan flavors for those who can't do dairy or don't do dairy. So with that, we're going to tune out. We're going to play a little commercial, and we'll be talking to all of you all real soon. Appreciate you all and love you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Sean Michelle's Homemade Ice Cream is the only place to go when the ladies crave delicious old-fashioned homemade ice cream. Their vanilla tastes just like Grandma used to make it. With over 35 flavors, all made with the freshest ingredients, Kathy has never had banana pudding ice cream this good. It's homemade ice cream the way you remember, and Sean Michelle's doesn't upset your stomach. Enjoy in-store or take it to go. Sean Michelle's. Fall in love again.
First-time customers, buy one, get one free.